Another thing that was really interesting for us to notice was that people were hungry for meaningful content. They didn't just want to watch funny videos or music videos. There was an idea that on the internet, the only thing people want to watch, especially young people, is videos of cats, little kittens jumping into bowls of spaghetti and silly things like that. It wasn't true. The most successful video we ever had on the campaign was a 37-minute long speech that Obama gave. And it wasn't just any speech, it was a speech on the most complex, difficult topic you could possibly imagine: race. In America, we have a long, complicated history with race, and he addressed it directly, and it was our most popular video ever. So that told us that people on social media want to engage with real content, meaningful content, content that has something to say, not just silly, funny videos. So why do we put so much emphasis on YouTube? YouTube is an incredibly powerful communications tool. As opposed to television advertising, YouTube is something that you watch voluntarily. Now, I'm sure that there is not one person in this room that enjoys watching television commercials, unless you were a former advertising executive. Everybody hates TV ads. Why? Because you're trying to watch something that you like watching, Dancing with the Stars or whatever it is, and a TV commercial interrupts you from what you actually want to watch. And it's even more annoying when it's a politician, right? Everybody hates political ads for the most part. YouTube was the exact opposite experience. Instead of being interrupted, the way that people would come to watch our videos was a friend of theirs or a family member or a colleague would send them the video, either through email or Facebook or Twitter. And they would say, "This is good. You should check this out. This is worth watching." So there was a personal stamp of endorsement on that video content from somebody that you trusted, somebody whose judgment you thought was sound. And that made it such a more meaningful experience. It made you want to watch it rather than turn down the volume or fast forward. Overall, the new media landscape has changed in many ways. I've already discussed TV commercials versus online videos. Direct mail versus email. So many different organizations and nonprofits still send paper mail to people, and nobody ever reads it, right? It usually goes in the trash or the garbage or the fireplace, right? Nobody wants to read it. Maybe has a 1% return rate, if that. That would be a good return rate for direct mail. Email is much, much, much more effective. It doesn't pollute. It doesn't affect the environment in negative ways. And it is simply, as I said, much more effective. You can do tests with email messaging in a couple hours, and it would take you months to do that kind of test with direct mail, with paper mail. So we were able to raise the vast, vast, vast majority of our money from email, not from direct mail. Press releases are a common thing that is used by the old media. And yet, ordinary people don't read press releases. And frankly, very few people in the press like reading press releases either. Press releases are written in a language, and I've written many press releases myself, but they're written in a language that's too formal, it sounds too professional, and it sounds like it's created for robots, not for human beings. Blog posts are the opposite. They're very informal. They tell stories. They strive for authenticity. And they're much more readable. They're much more approachable. They're much more human. And frankly, the press likes reading blog posts too. Overall, the traditional media, the old media, is focused on one-way communication. Their model is, here's my message, take it or leave it. The new media is not one-way communication, it's two-way. It's a conversation. It's a conversation. So instead of saying, here's my message, take it or leave it, Barack Obama might say, here's my health care plan. Now I want to hear your ideas. What are your ideas to make my health care plan even better? Think about the difference in that kind of messaging. Finally, traditional media is aimed at the press. It's aimed at getting elite members of the press to write positive stories. So your traditional media efforts this year are to get the New York Times and the BBC to write a positive story about 2012 being the year of the co-ops. And that's fine, and I'm not telling you not to do that because that's still important. But the new media doesn't care about the press. The new media is trying to go around the press and talk directly to the people. The press is a filter, and the new media allows you to go around that filter. So we were communicating directly with millions and millions of people. We had effectively created our own newspaper, our own TV stations. They were on YouTube and they were on our blog, and people were receiving these messages directly. And then finally, the old media, at least on the Obama campaign, it was focused on getting a small sliver of the population, the so-called swing voters in America, who make up their mind about who they want to support at the very last second. It was aimed on getting those people to support Obama. Now, I didn't care about those people. Well, I shouldn't say I didn't care about those people. I wanted their support, but I was not focused on those people at all. In fact, I wasn't even really trying to convince somebody who didn't support Obama to support Obama. That was not my goal. My goal was to speak to people who already liked Obama, and to get those people who already liked Obama to really like Obama, and get people who really liked Obama to decide, I'm going to go out and recruit other people, my friends and my neighbors, and explain to them why I passionately support Obama. My goal was to turn soft supporters into strong supporters, and strong supporters into community organizers, people who are going to go out and gather more people together to create this massive, powerful movement for Obama. Second thing I want to just very quickly say is that one of the ways that we were so successful is because we made our content personal. We created a lot of different content, but we wanted to create something that personally touched as many people as possible. So in addition to BarackObama.com, we had women.barackobama.com that focused on women's issues. We had Latinos.barackobama.com that focused on issues around immigration and other issues important to the Latino community. We had People of Faith for Obama that focused on Obama's personal story of faith and the way that he would encourage community faith organizations. And in addition to People of Faith, faith.barackobama.com, we had individual faiths. We had Christians.barackobama.com, Muslims.barackobama.com, Jews.barackobama.com. And we were speaking to those specific communities as personally as possible. We also had individual websites for every state in the country. We had Ohio.barackobama.com, where we could focus on the issues that mattered to people in Ohio. In Ohio, the big issue is the closing of factories. We knew that jobs was the big topic people wanted to hear about in Ohio. Maybe they didn't care so much about environmental policy, so we focused on those issues on the Ohio blog. So the key was we tried to reach as many people in a personal way as possible, because we knew that if we touched them personally, they would be much more likely to share that content with their friends, right? So, for example, we created a video, Greek Americans for Obama. There aren't that many Greek Americans, but there are enough. And so we created a video featuring Greek American supporters of Obama, and we saw that when a Greek person saw this, they would say, wow, they're speaking to me. And then they would send it to all of their Greek friends. So content really was the glue that held the campaign together.